News and programming is sponsored by Desert View Hospital, providing emergency medical care around the clock at 360 South Lola Lane. Learn more at desertviewhospital.com. Physicians are not employees or agents of this hospital. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson. News 46 is also brought to you by Humana, serving the community. Please stop in at 1397 South Loop Road on the corner of Loop and Highway 160.
Tonight on News 46, a California couple die in a motorcycle crash.
And the county begins a mass sign removal.
News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Deanna O'Donnell and Eunette Gentry. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
2 people die in a crash over the weekend. It's Tuesday, January 23rd. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Eunette Gentry.
Nevada Highway Patrol has released the name of the couple who died tragically over the weekend on Highway 160 in Mountain Springs. 65-year-old Bill Din and 64-year-old Mary Nugent, both from Garden Grove, were killed on the highway around 7 p.m. Saturday night. NHP says for unknown reasons, Din lost control of the Indian motorcycle while traveling southbound at the top of the hill. The bike then skid across the roadway into oncoming traffic. Both the rider and passenger were killed instantly when a vehicle traveling northbound struck the couple. The road was closed in both directions for many hours. Early on, passerbys described a tragic, graphic scene. The couple was reportedly riding with a group of 8 other motorcyclists traveling from Pahrump to Las Vegas.
And Pahrump is getting a facelift. Improperly placed signs all over the valley, old and new, are now being removed by code enforcement with the help of the crew at Pahrump Valley Disposal. Today, News 46 was at the corner of Highway 160 and Winery Road to watch the removal of one of the largest signs around town.
What we're out trying to do is remove abandoned signs, signs that are not in compliance by not being permitted to be where they are, and signs that are located on private property with no permission or in a county right-of-way.
So this falls underneath the planning department, right?
That is correct.
So this sign right here that you guys are removing today has a lot of different businesses on it, and it's not legal. It's been here for quite a number of years.
That is correct, and that's kind of the issue, is that a lot of the signs have been permitted, they haven't been enforced. The codes have been there all the time, for quite some time, but nobody had the manpower or desire to enforce it. Basically, the only signs that are allowed without any kind of permit, there is size restrictions on them. You have to have permission by the owner, which pretty much limits you down to for sale signs, which also has some regulations that it has to be an actively listed property as well. Any signs that are in a NDOT right-of-way or a county right-of-way are considered an imminent danger to the public.
What is the right-of-way? How far away from the roadway is that?
Well, it varies throughout town. There's some right-of-ways that are 40 feet, 80 feet, 60 feet. The code does state that they have to be actually even 3 foot beyond the right-of-way is where they're actually supposed to be to keep them out of traffic. We were actually out here on the 5th of January posting these orange stickers you can see in the background, which gave a 15-day notice to either come down to the county and get the proper permit or remove the sign.
Are we even talking about the small little signs with the metal that people stick in the ground? Those are illegal too, right?
That is correct. Those are considered off-premise signs, which do fall under ordinances as well.
You seem to have the help of Pahrump Valley Disposal here.
Yes, given that the planning department does not have a full code enforcement staff at this moment, for the removal of signs especially, we have contracted with Pahrump Valley Disposal to help us out with the larger signs. Once the signs are removed, part of the reason Pahrump Valley Disposal is involved in this is because they are storing them for us up on their site. Any sign that's removed, the owner of the sign does have 30 days to come and claim their sign. and then after that point, it will be disposed of.
People put up new signs. Will those have any notices, or will you just be removing those?
Depending on where they're put up, but if they are in a right-of-way, whether it be county, whether they're on BLM land, we have kind of a standing agreement to remove those immediately.
What's the number to call if people have questions, if they want some signs removed in their area, or they want to find out the actual codes?
That would be area code 775-751-4249.
Well, Beamer was lost, and now he's found. The Cocker Spaniel's owner, Deanna Proctor, says she is sure someone took him shortly after he and her other dog took a trip outside their property over the weekend.
Well, on Saturday when it was storming, I'd come home. I'm actually a pet nanny during the week, and I'd come home from feeding the last pets and went in the garage, pulled my car into the garage, but didn't shut my garage door. I forgot. Went in the house, and the dogs, of course, wanted to go outside because I'd been gone for about a half an hour, so I let him outside, and about 20 minutes later, he usually scratches at the door all the time. So 20 minutes later, he wasn't scratching. So I went outside to see who was and wasn't there. And my Newfoundland and Beamer, my Newfoundland's Maggie and Beamer, were gone.
Wow.
They were only, I knew they hadn't been gone more than about 20 minutes, so I just started hollering for him. And Maggie came right away. She wasn't even 3 minutes, and she was right there.
Yeah.
And no sign of him anywhere. We looked and looked. I drove up and down, my husband drove up and down until midnight. We combed our whole neighborhood because we really didn't think, he's such a mama's boy, he follows me everywhere. We didn't think he would have gone that far. Sunday evening, about 9 o'clock, there was a knock on our door, and I said to my husband, just teasingly, I said, I hope it's Beamer. I hope somebody found Beamer and they're bringing him home. And when I opened the front door, there was this wonderful couple. She was holding the baby, and he was holding the dog, Beamer. And we just started crying. And it was just such an amazing story because they never saw my posts on Facebook. I immediately, of course, when he was gone, I posted him all over Facebook on all the wonderful
lost and found
pet sites we have here, and everybody's so wonderful. When they came to the door, they said, is this your dog? And we said, yes. But his ID was gone.
Yeah.
And the story is, as they told us, they live off of Kellogg by the Saunders Winery, which is at least 6 miles from my home. Yeah. They found him in their fenced-in yard. They have 5 acres with their house. All 5 acres are fenced. They found him inside of the fence with their 2 labs in the morning when they got up. Their labs were barking and making a disturbance. So she went out to see and found him. We have no idea what happened to his ID. I really don't think he walked all the way over to Saunders Winery, but I might be wrong. So we're just so thrilled that all the people in Pahrump shared everything, because the people that brought him home, how they found our house was they went to Lakeside, the little store at Lakeside, the little convenience store, and they talked to the lady there. And she said, no, nobody had been in, but she had just seen his face come up on a Facebook page. That couple that were so wonderful said they knew he belonged to somebody because he was freshly groomed and sweet and just, you know, a really good little boy. So I was just so happy that nice people found him, and the wonderful Pahrump pet community. We just all networked together and shared everything, and I got a happy ending. Our boy came home.
Such good news.
Yes, a wonderful story based on our great neighbors here in Pahrump.
Yeah. We'll have your court report right after this.